You don't get cut once a week. There's no way.
Thank you.
There's no way you get cut once.
You know the good news is, Jalen, you've been here for 5 minutes.
Jalen, listen, when sometimes
lies. You already know that Channing lies, and you've been here for 5 minutes.
One of the things I love about betting my favorite sports is that I'm always finding new player props or game props that I like. And what's cool about FanDuel Sportsbook is you can combine these props with other bets from the same game to score an even bigger payout. It's called a same game parlay bet, and you can only find them on FanDuel. Same game parlay is just one of the reasons I bet with FanDuel. It's easy to register, easy to deposit, easy to find your bet, easy to place your bet fast during a game if you see a trend you like. And the best part, when you win, FanDuel pays your winnings in as little as 24 hours. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today to create a same-game parlay and use promo code ROADTRIPPIN at sign-up. New users get their first bet risk-free up to $1,000. FanDuel will refund you up to $1,000 back in site credit if you don't win. That is promo code ROADTRIPPIN so they know I sent you. Disclaimer, 21 years and older and present in Colorado, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, or West Virginia. First online real money wager only. Site credit is non-withdrawable and expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700 in Colorado, 1-800-BETS-OFF for Iowa, 1-800-9-WITH-IT, Indiana, 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help in Michigan, 1-800-GAMBLER, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Virginia, Tennessee Redline, 1-800-889-9789 in Tennessee, or visit www.1800gambler.net for West Virginia. Okay, we'll dive in. Rich, do it for us. Cheers.
Cheers.
Drinking. Cheers. Welcome to this edition of Road Trip and presented by FanDuel. I'm your host, Allie Clifton, alongside Richard Jefferson, Channing Frye. And our guest this week, if you had any sense of college basketball, if you pay attention to the NBA, he was the number 5 pick in the 2021 NBA draft, going to the Orlando Magic. We're going to learn a lot about him because Channing said we need to get him on Road Trippin'. Jalen Suggs.
Hey, everybody. What up, Jalen?
Guys, I appreciate y'all for having me.
Channing, I need to know, since he was 10 years old, like how
it's a funny story. Funny story. So in my life, and Richard knows this, I've met a lot of awesome people from just going to concerts or baseball games. And Doug, so my wife loves Atmosphere, right? The rapper. Atmosphere's, merch president guy saw me tweet at him, and at a concert, it was like, hey, come back here, like I'll introduce you. But I ended up becoming cool as shit with Doug. It was like, hey, whenever I go to Minnesota, y'all can have all my tickets all the time. So it's like the whole Rhyme Sayers crew would come to the Minnesota games. And then Doug ended up giving tickets to Jalen when he was a little kid. So I was just like, but Doug kept being like, hey, he calls you a nephew, my godson. He's like, he's nice at basketball and football. So I was like, all right, let me see. So, Doug is sending us highlight films. I'm like, oh shit, this kid is actually like really good. Because people say that. But, then all of a sudden, it's like he starts to get older and he's like winning football this, basketball this. And then it was just like over the years, I've seen Doug as they come out here. They visit us out in Portland. We've gone to Minnesota for the Rhyme Fest and that big old concert, which was tight. And just, from afar, staying in, I would say it's like a satellite over what he's been doing. And then I tried to get him to go to Arizona. That didn't work too well.
That was smart of you at the time.
It was. And then now, 3 degrees of separation. His assistant coach is now the coach in Arizona. So that's where we're at now. So it's a small.
And I thought the whole time that you wanted him on here was because you wanted him to tell you what a Final Four was like.
No.
Jalen, don't get shy. Don't get shy.
Know what? None of us won it. So fuck all y'all. None of us won it. So fuck y'all.
That is true. That is very true.
But then aren't you, and another weird thing is like, aren't you Terrell Suggs' cousin also?
Yeah.
So who grew up and we played AU together. And T Sizzle was like a monster. Oh yeah, listen, that was not fun for Skinny Channing going against Terrell Suggs in high school, who was like setting records for the state for being a running back. He mushed one of my friends at Marcos Deniza. He caught the kickoff, and imagine big ass Terrell running, stiff arm my boy, and took his helmet off. And my guy was like, you know what? After that, I knew football wasn't the sport for me. I think he didn't even play the next year. He was like, that was it. But yeah, it's a small, small world.
We've been on this podcast for 5 straight minutes, and Jalen hasn't said a word.
Let's change the side of the story, man. Oh, it's funny. I remember vividly the game that we went to against the Timberwolves the first time we met. And I had to wear Phoenix gear. So I had my big baggy Phoenix hoodie, waiting to go down at the end. Like, I'm still a little kid, so yeah, I'm all excited. So is he coming out this tunnel, that tunnel? I want to get a picture, all that. So I vividly remember that. And then my guy hooked me up with a pair of shoes, some shoes that I beat up and wore almost every day.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
wait, you were excited to see Channing?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like at 10 years old, your expectations of greatness are really low. Right? It's like you might still believe in Santa at 10 years old, you know?
Oh my God, that's
the best
so
team in the
awesome.
Western Conference. We're the second best team in the Western Conference. Fuck you, Richard.
Okay, wait. Okay, so can we start first, because Channing, you kind of touched about it. You watched highlight films of Jalen football and basketball. And when I was obviously doing my research, and I remember during the NCAA tournament, the conversation came up. You were a hell of a football player.
That was a terrible, sad week, and I had to make that decision.
Did you cry?
Oh yeah, for about a week straight.
Yeah, I respect the honesty.
Almost every day for like a week straight. I remember vividly, after football season was over, we're into basketball. I think we're like a couple games into the basketball season. We had like a week in between. So like, I think the championship of football is November 25th. I think our first game was like the 1st of December, something like that. So real quick turnaround.
You played in the championship.
Yes.
Did you guys win?
No, we didn't.
Don't feel bad. We'll get into my long history of losing. Don't feel bad. Keep going.
Until he played with me.
Go on, continue.
But nah, so I sat down with my dad, we just had conversations, broke down pros and cons, and, different pathways, what it would look like. And I mean, ultimately for me, like one big thing, that's kind of, motivated me on this journey, through playing basketball, meeting people and creating relationships, but also, bettering the situation for my family. We live with my uncle, my sisters, and parents were in the basement. I changed my uncle's his little like office space into a little tiny bedroom. So really, I mean, just trying to get him out of there, and basketball was the best pathway for that. So yeah, hard week, cried a lot. Still miss it to this day. So yeah, kind of jealous of everybody playing right now.
No, you made the right decision, man. You made the right, and not only based off of your success, but also like I look at Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, great baseball player. Russell Wilson, great baseball player. But what the numbers that they're giving out for quarterbacks, Doug, and it's like, look, you can fizzle out as a quarterback in 5 years. Guys get drafted and then go away. Okay, boom. Let me go back over to play baseball. But like those contracts in football as a quarterback are big. I think you made the right financial decision, the longevity decision, the average NBA career, especially if you're going to be a lottery pick like you are. That was the right. It's hard, man. You know what? Some of the rightest decisions, some of the most correct decisions are the hardest ones. And most rightest.
That's not
some of the
right.
most rightest. That is right. Most rightest, I think, is the proper.
That is unright.
That is the proper English term. I think that might be, like the Queen's
left.
English.
That's so far right, you're going.
That is the Queen's English. That is the most rightest decision that you could have made.
Clearly, choosing Gonzaga over Arizona from an education standpoint was the right decision as well.
That's not Jalen. Don't laugh at that. That shit's not funny.
Yeah, great. I've never said rightist.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah,
Jalen, how is okay? So
you're not drinking a pineapple high noon.
Hey, you're right. My bad.
How has the experience been so far? Obviously, draft night to where you are. You're in Orlando right now. I know Rich just had your head coach on The Jump last week, and he talked a lot about you and Jamal Mosley. We all obviously, my first years in the league, I worked with Jamal with Cleveland, so know him very well. But how has the journey been so far?
He's the best, first of all. My coach is the best. It's been good, man. Leading up, I thought, the draft would kind of be like getting to New York. I thought there'd be like the most like, nervous and, I'd be the most like uptight, than I was throughout the whole pre-draft. But like, honestly, those 4 days I was in New York was like the calmest, most like freeing, like couple days that I had the entire time. Cause, you're working out and, you're doing off the court deals, things like that. Almost like having a full like work day. When I got there, it's kind of just like seeing New York, kind of taking everything in, being with family and friends who came down. So that was fun. And then after that, it's been nonstop. I mean, on the go, getting ready. Because, the season has come really fast. Like, the fact that we're going to play our first preseason game in about a couple weeks here, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, is crazy. I've been living out of hotels since the draft. I went home for about 5-6 days, and that's the only time I was in the house. So, but it's been good. It's been fun, learning and getting to meet everybody, all the vets on the team, the young guys, building the camaraderie.
Wait, they have vets? They have vets on Orlando's team?
We got a couple vets. We got our guy Rolo. Rolo is one of the wisest.
Robin! Yo, he's the best. He's going to Disneyland every day. He's going to Disneyland every day.
I forgot that Robin was there. Yo, let me say this. Let's rewind a little bit. Jamal Mosley. Jamal Mosley is a great dude. Let's start with that. He's a great person. I've known him for like 20 years. But let me tell you where shut up, bitch. Let me tell you where he is an asset to you. And I want to make sure you utilize this. And I mean this respectfully. He's more than just a basketball coach. He's a person that you can talk to, right? Like, these are my goals. These are where I'm struggling. Like, he is, and I don't like the term players coach because that takes away from someone's X's and O's and their work ethic sometimes. But I think for you being a young player, any question you have, anything that's on your mind, Jamal Mosley is one of the realest dudes that I've known from my entire time in the NBA. And you would be doing yourself a disservice if you didn't utilize that. Like, coach, what can I work on? Hey, coach, how can I make this person better? Coach, what is something that I could do? Coach, how can I be a better leader? Because I was coach. Jamal was my boy, and then he coached me, and then he cussed me out, and I was like, you're right. And it's just more of like the fact that, like, I think when I was with him, I'd known him for probably like 10, 15 years at the time, and I was a 15-year vet, and I did something wrong. Like, no. Like, I got mad about some shit and I had a little bit of a moment. And then he snapped at me, cussed me out. And I was like, you know what? You right. You my bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just one of those dudes that, like, he'll be so honest with you, so respectful, but hold you accountable. And when I tell you, dude, you lucked out to get that. I had Byron Scott as my first coach, which was great. He's a Laker legend. I grew up loving him. You got a very, very good first coach. Utilize him.
Yeah. Now we've like early, since since I first got here, and then summer league especially, like we came really close. We talk, of course during the game, we have tons of conversations and talking. That's one thing that I like about him. He always like asks me what I see or what I'm feeling out there on the court, and then we kind of work together to find solutions, different adjustments. But we're like the same competitive. He's super competitive, and that's exactly how I am. But he's a little older than me, and so he always talks about just not letting the competitiveness get carried away to where, now you're losing your mental, you're losing, your peace, and, you're starting to act out of emotion. I think that's one of the biggest things that he's been helping me with so far. But he's the best. Just the energy he brings every day. And Coach Moses is it.
I will say, I think I read or I listened when he was on with you, Rich, and what he's preaching to you guys as a first-time head coach, obviously, but is like the work ethic, to your point. And the thing that I've always appreciated when I'm around and being able to observe from my position is when people ask for something, but they're also willing to give that.
And when Mose was an assistant in Cleveland, he brought it every single day. And he was a coach. He wasn't a player. He didn't have to show up and give the energy. Sometimes he was giving it more than the players were. And so I think it's
he'd be out there sweating.
Yeah.
He'd
It's
be
like,
out there,
dude,
he'd be out there
like
on the court sweating.
after having ran 5 to 7 miles in the morning
Weirdo.
on the bike, like
Fucking weirdo.
it's just
Mose,
yeah.
Mose would be out here. So I live out in Hermosa Beach. He comes out here, brings his family. Like I said, he's actually a really, really good friend. And I'm like, Mose, what'd you do? He's like, well, I ran like 7 miles. I had my kid in the stroller. I'm like, what the fuck what are you doing, dude? Why do you have this much energy? But one thing I will say, and me and Channing, we had Evan Mobley on here last. We're just kind of going through the route. But one thing I wanted to say, like, if you want to be great, it's unfair. The coach is going to have to hold you the most accountable. So there's going to be days. I had a great coach one time come in and tell me, like, hey, Richard, there's going to be times where I just come in and tell you, I'm going to cuss you the fuck out. I might not be talking to you, but I just want to make sure that you understand that in order to be a leader and in order to be a guy that is respected in the locker room, and for me to really get on everybody else, I have to hold my best player accountable. Now, Channing never experienced this because he was never like the best player on any team.
When were you the best player on any team, Richard?
Not even in his high school. Not even his high school team.
Richard,
not never even the best. You weren't even the best player on your high school team.
That's impossible. I was Gatorade Player of the Year, the whole state.
You weren't even the best. You weren't even the
get
best.
On my back.
You didn't even
get on my back.
Anyways, Jalen, like I was saying.
Yeah, when was he the best player on any team?
To have a coach have you hold you the most accountable might be hard. He might come in, man, coach, on that bullshit. It's like, no. Coach, when he's talking to you, he's talking to everybody else. But that's what Pop used to do with Tim Duncan. He would come in and the first day of training camp, I swear to you, the first person to get cussed out was Tim Duncan. Why? Because anybody else that showed up there, you'd be like, well, fuck, if he's talking to Tim Duncan like that, what the hell can I say? So it just set the tone. So make sure that, you put yourself in a position to be held at the highest of accountability. Question that shit, Channing. Be like, yo, that's good shit right there.
Way to hype up your own 10-minute comment. What's up?
My
okay,
10-minute comment. You opened the podcast with a 10-minute fucking.
Giving a backstory. Every movie starts with every good movie, the guy goes, "How did we get here?" Right? And it's like
true. That's not true. You're not Morgan.
And then they give you the rewind.
Dude. You're not Morgan.
Channing, what's the biggest piece of advice? Channing, what's the biggest piece of advice you can give Jalen living in Orlando?
Ooh, well, 2 things. Number one, of all the places that I stayed at, I did not like Orlando the most. And now I just do it to give people in Orlando shit. But like, your team is different than ours. I think I didn't like it because we stunk. But our team had crazy talent, right? Like Tobias Harris, Victor Oladipo, Vooch, Evan Fournier, Dwayne Dedman, Kyle O'Quinn, myself, Willie Green. Like, we had a team that was supposed to be good.
You have a lot of guys that are talented other places. You had a lot of guys that ended up being talented at other places.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. It was frustrating as a vet. You're like, damn, guys, we could be good. I see us compete. But here's my advice. Orlando, find your little niche spots, right? Because Orlando, there's like literally every type of chain. It's a big time touristy city. Find your little Orlando spots that are your spots. Don't just go to Rocco's Tacos all the time, even though it's delicious. And then also their facility is next level. I would say, everyone that was there when I was there, like staff wise, is probably gone, but I know that those people want to be good. And I think you have a really unique situation to grow. Defensively, that team is nasty, right? Like the length that you guys have, the youth. And so dive into your routine and then have your little spots that you go to, but you don't need to be out in the streets. The streets ain't that good any old way.
That's actually really good. Jalen, what are your goals? What are your expectations?
I think just the overarching, the big picture, just, grow off the court, in how I manage my body, how I manage my time, and growing in knowledge and, talking to other people and, gaining different things.
It's so boring, Jalen. Are you going to be rookie of the year? It's so boring, Jalen. It's not a fucking draft interview, dude. It's not a draft interview.
This is me, Rich.
If I hear one more of those fucking answers out of you, Jalen, I swear to God. I swear to God.
But I did like your question, Richard. Are you going to be rookie of the year, Jalen?
Of course.
Oh,
Of course. Yeah, that's what I want to hear. Damn right.
So what's something that you're like, all right, am I prepared, or you're excited to challenge yourself? Like, what's one aspect of the season that you're excited for? It's not good internet.
Honestly, easy about this. We talked about it the other day. Taking losses for what they are, not letting them snow. Now that's how they got to be in tank mode, and taking the loss, you might have 2-3, it's going to happen, and then bringing the team together, making something happen, and then getting on a roll of about 5, 6, 7 wins, just trying to, streak and, pick up wins here and there, to put ourselves in position, whether we're either fighting for, a 7 seed or, we're in position where now we're in playing games and, anything happen.
Now, Jalen, let me say this, and I say this with the utmost respect. Because I fuck with your game. I fuck with your shit. I fuck with Coach Mosley.
What are you about to say?
Please,
we all know it.
Look, I want you to like keep your expectations in a understandable spot. And I say this, no, and I don't say it to be like disrespectful. I just say like, you are, as a football player, as a competitor, as a person that has won, that has been at the highest of levels in multiple sports and all this other shit, fucking winning in the NBA is one of the most hard things to do that you'll ever experience. Even winning a championship is one of the hardest things to do. That's why there's the same 9 guys that are fucking there all the time, because they're that good and they work that hard. The Orlando Magic are so far away from... And when I say so far away, I mean that like a talented person like you'll be better in your second year and in your third year and your fourth year. And you guys do have talent. But trust me, there's going to be some dark days. And I say this to you not to be a dick. I say this to you is when a 5-game winning streak hits you for the first time in your fucking life. When a 7-game losing streak hits you, not because like you guys aren't great. Maybe there's the COVID protocol. Maybe a player gets injured. Maybe you guys get fat, and all of a sudden you're like on a West Coast road trip. You're taking out 12 guys and all. Like those are the things those are where you're going to grow the most as a leader. Those are where you're going to grow the most as a basketball player, because it's like, do you keep your routine during those stretches? Do you keep working out during those stretches? Do you still show up with that fucking $1 million smile you got? Do you still talk to the fucking media? Do you do all of that stuff? That's when you really start to see like the professionalism come out, because it doesn't matter. Like I went to the playoffs 11 times, 12 times in 17 years, played in 4 finals. I started a season in Utah 1 for 11, right? And you're just like, fuck, our season is over before the shit even got started. How's our season over before December? So I just say this not to rain on your parade and say that like you guys can't accomplish this, because I truly believe you can accomplish it, but you also have to mentally prepare yourself for the other side that like, what if our team is still learning and building, right? Like, how do I handle that? Because it's not your situation that dictates your success. It's how you handle those situations that'll dictate yourself.
I would say this. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You got it.
I think a reasonable, and I've been on rebuilding teams.
Lots of them, like tons of them.
I would say three. That's out of my control. But like a thing, Jeff Hornacek was one of the better coaches I've had. He was cool as shit. And they blew up the Suns when we won 48 games that year, right? And so he was like, hey, guys, listen, let's try this. Just try to get 500. You win 2 out of 3 games at home. You win 1 out of 3 games on the road. And you don't lose 3 in a row. If you lose 3 in a row, we got to have, like, you guys, not me, you guys got to have a coming to Jesus about what needs to get done and be real. Can you do more? right? And so we just said, okay, let's try to, and if we go on a streak, we go on a streak. But he was just like, you take care of home, 2 out of 3, and then 1 out of 3 on the road. It's reasonable. And so when you just focus on those little tiny things, you start to build, right? And I think I just looked at your roster. You guys got so much youth. It's going to take you 20 games even to know each other's middle names. like who's that? Right? You're like, who's this guy? What does he do? I think you are, especially in your role, they're going to just throw you to the fire in a good way, and you're going to have to take your lumps. Like, you know, the East ain't no slouch now when it comes to guards. So you're going to have to say, okay, I took my lump today, but I'm ready to go again tomorrow. And then how can I help my team? How can I make less unforced turnovers? And how can I make a good, you know, for instance, a good turnover? Like, how do I like
Did you say less unforced? How do I make less unforced turnover?
Yeah. So like if you are not, so for me, it was like, if you watch enough film, the game slows down. So I went to Phoenix. They were like, Channing, don't make a turnover because you didn't watch enough film. You got to see what you're matching up with. Do they show? Do they, you know, are they in a drop on an ice? Do they switch? Like, be prepared for those games. And if you make a mistake, it's because you were trying to do the right thing, not because you were just assuming. So,
I was going to ask you, Jalen, I think your lone season at Gonzaga, you played at most 30 games, 32, 30?
I think we played 30, 34.
34? Do you have any idea like what 82 games is going to be like?
Oh, I heard it all. I understood it. They showed us a schedule. Those are the dates we play, all of them. Oh my god!
Yeah, which I play almost every other day.
Yeah, it's that shit.
Yeah, like even like the first week almost. Like it's like, and we started the 19th, and then we played the 19th, like 21st, 22nd, 24th, 26th, 27th. I was like,
a young team.
Like, oh, wait. This, you know, isn't it amazing? You're like, wait, this is all I do now. Every day, there's nothing else. There's no football practice. There's no class. Like every day, I just wake up and go be better at basketball.
I was just talking about it with my man, with my boy Red. Like we were sitting here just, you know, talking, having a conversation. I was like, bro, like the fact that I wake up in my morning, I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to go to the gym. You know, I'll be there for about 5-6 hours. You know, I'll see you later on when I get back. Like, that's it for me, bro. That's it for me. I go, I lay down, I get treatment, I work
amazing.
out, I eat there. Like, it's
amazing.
That's it for me.
The best job in the fucking world.
Oh,
now, I say this to people. No, I won't say it to people. I say this shit to you from a standpoint, like, if you want to be great and you weren't, you know, the pick that you were, you didn't have the success coming out of high school. Like, what position did you play in football?
I was quarterback and safety.
Okay, so quarterback and safety, like a lot of times it's safeties and linebackers that like dictate where the defense is doing. And as a quarterback, it's dictating what the whole offense is doing. If you want to be a great basketball player, and me and Channing didn't want to do that, we just decided to be very good or something along those lines. If you want to be a great a lot of it is about like, how much do you know? Like, do you know what everybody's supposed to do on the court? Do you know what the other team is doing? The amount of the amount of video that you have to watch about every team, every league, because guys like Rondo and Bron, they could tell the other team what their plays were, where they were going, who was supposed to go where. Like, and look, this is what I just want to tell you, because everybody wants to come into the league and think they're going to be a 10-time All-Star, and you're like, well, this is what it's going to take, right? It's going to take you having to know the calls for the other team, having to be able to tell the guys like what is going to be needed via this, and that not in a smug way, but just in a preparation way. So yes, you get those 5 hours in the gym. Your game might be nice. Your everything might be smooth and running, but are you helping your guys when Channing doesn't know where he's supposed to be on the out of bounds play? You'd be like, Channing, just
be in the fucking corner.
Cut here.
Hey, all that mumbo jumbo, put my big ass up in the corner. Come on down there.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like great players are like quarterbacks. They're like quarterbacks where they know every fucking possible scenario and situation. Not only that's going to be thrown at them, but also what they want to do on the offensive end. So just putting that out there for you. I don't want no problems.
One of the things I love about betting my favorite sports is that I'm always finding new player props or game props that I like. And what's cool about FanDuel Sportsbook is you can combine these props with other bets from the same game to score an even bigger payout. It's called a same game parlay bet, and you can only find them on FanDuel. Same game parlay is just one of the reasons I bet with FanDuel. It's easy to register, easy to deposit, easy to find your bet, easy to place your bet fast during a game if you see a trend you like. And the best part, when you win, FanDuel pays your winnings in as little as 24 hours. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today to create a same game parlay and use promo code ROADTRIPPIN at signup. New users get their first bet risk-free up to $1,000. FanDuel will refund you up to $1,000 back in site credit if you don't win. That is promo code ROADTRIPPIN so they know I sent you. Disclaimer, 21 years and older and present in Colorado, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, or West Virginia. First online real money wager only. Site credit is non-withdrawable and expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700 in Colorado, 1-800-BETS-OFF for Iowa, 1-800-9-WITH-IT, Indiana, 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help in Michigan, 1-800-GAMBLER, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Virginia, Tennessee Redline, 1-800-889-9789 in Tennessee, or visit www.1800gambler.net for West Virginia.
This episode of Road Trippin' is brought to you by Bourbon Time. Even if you don't have a traditional 9-to-5 schedule, there is no denying that this past year has changed the way that work and rest intersect. Without a designated office to come home from, we're missing that natural break in our days. Our friends at Jim Beam recognize this phenomenon and they want to help us out. Beat the burnout and start blocking off the hour of 6 to 7 p.m. as your me time, where you can do what you love for you and only you. And what better way to spend my me time than with my feet up, enjoying a nice smooth glass of Jim Beam. So let's make the idea of Bourbon Time a reality. Join me in reclaiming 6 to 7 p.m. as the happiest hour so you can do whatever it is that makes you happy. And if that involves a glass of bourbon, remember to drink Jim Beam responsibly. Jim Beam Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume, copyright 2021, James B. Beam Distilling Company, Claremont, Kentucky.
Who are you looking forward to going up against?
Dang. And it's crazy because I got
How quick you did that.
our coach, Coach Nate. He was in Portland, him and Coach Osborne. And so, they were going back and forth with him. And, I had told him before, that's something we're going to watch a lot. And, I'm excited to play against him on the same court with it. And, so they got it connected to where, I went out to Portland for about 2 days. I think it was about 2 weeks ago, and we worked out. So the first day,
that's awesome.
It was crazy.
That's awesome.
It was
awesome. You cheesed. How hard was it to keep it cool? How hard? Because look,
it was really hard.
Yeah,
it was really fucking hard.
Every NBA player's, Dame is every NBA player's favorite player.
Oh, for sure.
Guys in the league just fuck with, you watch his game, you're like, man, that motherfucker bad, man. He don't say nothing. If you disrespect him, he'll eat you alive. The one person that's
make you a lyric.
The one person that's gotten the better of him is fucking Steph, and Steph's all-time fucking super loaded squad. I'll be 100% honest. Dame is their Trailblazers could have done better, but Steph has always had a better team. And I'm not saying Steph's not a better player, but you don't watch those series and not be like, Dame's a bad motherfucker, man. Did you keep it together?
Nah, he made it easy, but it was hard at first. I got off the plane, I got there late, went to sleep, and I woke up. I was getting ready to go to the gym. I just got picked up. I'm jittering in the car. I'm like, man, Mo can't sit still. So we pull up, and he that was just one of the most normal, cool, laid back people. I was and it made it easy. Then literally we went to go work out. We didn't do anything physical. I think I shot for about 5 minutes, just in him talking about some of the stuff that he does. But we literally sat and talked and walked through things with coach for an hour and a half, and literally just sat there, listened, asked questions. But man, it worked out the next day, and he's crazy. He makes everything look so effortless.
It's so easy.
It started piecing off. He's doing 5-6 combo, step back, and it is just the smoothest, easiest.
Yeah. But it's like, dog, that's the thing. It's like, yo, that shit takes. So I remember Dame's rookie year. He was first game. So I was with Golden State at the time. So rookie year, he's a Bay Area dude. He's balling in Portland. Like, you're like, oh, Dame, but it wasn't like he was like that dude yet, but he was balling. So he comes down to fucking Oakland, first time in his home arena. The dude is a rookie and gives us it was either like a 40 piece or a 50 piece. The referees are looking over at me like, yo, this motherfucker good. I'm like, shit. Yes, he is. And that's the thing, like, man, that's what it is. It's about being about your business. I want to also talk about one other fucking coach you got on your fucking staff. Do you know who I'm gonna talk about?
I know.
Jesse fucking Mermis. Yeah, Jesse's in Orlando.
I didn't know he was there.
Oh yeah.
Wait, and you're talking, Jalen, you're talking about Nate Tibbetts?
Yeah.
I didn't even know Nate Tibbetts went there.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. Yo, how funny is that
right?
motherfucker, Jesse Mermis?
Jesse's comedy, yo. He's comedy. And he'd be on the court. We were practicing today. I think we were doing it was me and Eton Moore. We were kind of like floaters and stuff, different finishes. Yeah, this dude is intentionally fouling, kicked out the game, grabbing, hugging, going hard, yelling after a stop, bro.
Yo, I've known Jesse. So Jesse's from Arizona also. Me and Channing are both from Arizona. I've known Jesse since I think the first time I played against Jesse, I was like a 15-year-old kid in high school. He was I think we might have been the same grade, or he was a year younger than me. But I've known Jesse since I was 15, before he was doing his stuff at Arizona, all the stuff that he's done. But you are so fortunate with the coaching staff that you've gotten. Jesse Mermis, he just loves the game. He is a passionate dude. He's funny, talks way too much shit. It makes me want to punch him in his throat. Because he's look, man, there's coaches and then there's dudes that are real ones that are coaches. And I think Jesse and Jamal are both like that. Doesn't mean because look, if you work with people for 9 months, there's going to be times where you just can't fucking stand them. Allie can't stand me and Channing 90% of the time.
What?
Channing gets what? Bitch, she cannot stand your ass. But I'm just saying, dude, you got some real, Jesse's a funny fucking dude. You guys, and he works his tail off. You have a really, Jesse used to fucking punk Channing ass out.
Yeah, because I respect the coaches. I respect Jesse's trying. It wasn't about how he said it, was what he was trying to say. So I was like, all right, you need to yell. You can yell at me because I was the best player on the court, motherfucker. Yell at me.
Never seen it.
Jalen, I'm curious about this because it kind of goes back to the conversation and the advice Richard was giving you in terms of managing your expectations. I think said more lightly than what Rich was saying to you. Are you ready for, I don't want to call it pressure, and maybe it is pressure to you, the expectations that have been placed on you as pretty much a cultural piece and getting Orlando to where they ultimately want to be, but the work that has to go into that as well?
Oh yeah. And that was, that's something that me and Damian talked about while I was out there. I think we sat down and talked about it for about 30 minutes, just about that piece and coming in with, the expectations and, you're now picked with a high pick in the draft for a franchise who's looking to turn things around. And, you're the piece that, everything's kind of going to go through. I think, pressure, I think, is going to come with it. I'm not going to say I'm not going to get nervous. There's not going to be games or times that are hard. That's just bound to happen. But, I think I'm looking to embrace it. I'm looking to embrace the whole city, rallying, around me and the team and, being the one to get them excited, get them going, all that stuff. I'm looking forward to embracing it because all of it's going to be a learning. It's all going to help me learn. So, really, I'm excited for it. I can't wait to get the fans in and, yelling, screaming and, everybody, talking. So, yeah, I think that piece, I'm looking forward to embrace, and learn from that.
The good news about Orlando is that you'll get to know all the fans by name.
Oh my God, Richard.
I will say this, Orlando is a tourist city. So when the Miami Heat, Lakers, Boston, everyone plays, you're going to get just as many fans for them as you are Orlando. But there are a section of diehard Caledonian fans.
What?
And you'll know and you'll see.
Is it bad that I said he's going to get to know all of the fans by name? Why is that bad?
It's not bad. You actually will.
It's an intimate situation.
We were talking about it today. Actually, me and RJ were doing a live for having a conversation. He's like, bro, wait till the season starts. Like, it's good to have fans, but like when like a big team comes into town, like Brooklyn, LA, there's more. I mean, it's like,
oh no, yeah, but hey, fans are fans, right? You're gonna win over a Brooklyn fan if you ball out, you know. So, but not basketball, man. What do you do outside of basketball?
Yeah, thank you.
What is your thing? What is your thing? You play video games, you read books. You look like a reading book. Oh yeah, you on that.
This thing is what keeps me sane right here.
Ew.
What is it?
Ew. You
What is
use
it?
PlayStation.
What do you play?
Xbox. It's
Call of Duty,
Xbox.
Madden. 2K a little bit, but Call of Duty, Madden are really my go-tos.
Wait, who's your football team? Vikings?
Baltimore. Big dub last night. Baltimore. Big trust.
How are you a Baltimore fan?
Baltimore? Are you a fan of like? Are you?
No,
fan
I'm
of
I am a Baltimore Raven fan.
Raven in Minnesota.
Raven.
You are a Baltimore Ravens fan.
Where did that come? How did that come?
Terrell.
His cousin.
Yeah, so stupid.
You're like, all right, my bad. That's fair. So, okay, so sometimes when they say cousin, so like Channing and Tobias Harris are cousins, but you know they don't really know each other. They've never met each other before. How much? How much? Like
played in Orlando together. You asshole.
You gotta tell us, like the Terrell Suggs. Is that like brother? Your dads are brothers. Your moms are sisters. Like what? Where is the cousin connection?
I think it is through my dad's. I think my dad's
second cousin.
Yeah, it's a second cousin. But
okay.
We've had like, you know, we've kicked it before and we've met, we've talked. Like so my cousin DeMar Suggs, he works like with Terrell when he was in the league, and you know, he still lives out in Arizona. So like they're super close, and that's kind of where I got most of my, you know, conversations from whenever they'd come to Minnesota. Or things like that. You know, my dad and my mom will go out there sometimes to go hang out. But yeah, I know. I can say
no. I'm not saying.
I was gonna say
that.
you quit football because you saw how big he was.
Channing says Tobias is his cousin, but they don't really claim each other, right? Like there's no like
you
family
talked to him
pictures or
yesterday.
anything. Yeah, whatever. But it's more of like, okay, so like when did it turn from like kind of like how Channing was talking about, like no, you know. No, my godson, man, he's nice. When did it turn to like Terrell was like, yo, man, you doing some things? Like when did Terrell hit you up out of the blue and was like, yo, nephew, you know, yo, cuzzo, you doing some things? Okay, I see you.
Talks like that.
I remember.
No, that's how Terrell Suggs talks.
I think it was my sophomore or junior. I can't remember which one it was, but it was during the summer. It was my junior, so my last AU. And I was on a tear my last AU year. I'm not gonna lie. I was on a tear. And I remember he had hit DeMar, you know, and then hit me. It was like, man, keep going. Like, you know, you're right there. And then at Gonzaga too. So, but I think, yeah, definitely my junior year.
Yeah, why did you go to Gonzaga?
Zag up, man. You don't rock with Spokane.
Pacific
Northwest. I'm in the Pacific Northwest.
No, stop that.
Right. I give you that. Okay, so
like, on the West Coast, it's Arizona,
UCLA,
then Gonzaga, then Oregon. Yeah.
Oh, Gonzaga took it over.
Took over what?
Serious?
Took over what?
Arizona's not even like in the conversation with Gonzaga anymore.
Well, let's establish.
But the face of the West Coast. The face of the West Coast.
The face of the West Coast. See, this is the thing. People think that like you can have it. Yes. Listen, I will give Gonzaga all the shit. Part of the reason why I was rooting against you guys is because I know until you win a national championship, then you guys will never be the face of the West Coast. And that's not a knock. That's why I was rooting against you, because I knew if y'all won, it was going to be problems for Arizona. I acknowledge that. That is a sign of respect. Me rooting against you. That's a sign of pure respect. I'm like, if these motherfuckers win, we're gonna have an even harder fucking problem getting this shit right. So it's a sign of respect, but make no mistake, it still goes. The face of West Coast basketball is UCLA and Arizona, then Gonzaga, then I would say Oregon.
Even after what
Respect.
Gonzaga just did to UCLA?
Give a fuck about what Gonzaga did to UCLA. UCLA has 11 national championships.
In the 50s.
Channing, you're supposed to be on my side, Channing.
I am, but I'll say this.
His school's better than ours.
Yeah, he can't say that because we never lost to them. That's actually very true. Right? And this is no knock on Mark Few. Gonzaga, I think you might be the highest drafted Gonzaga guy next to Adam Morrison.
Yeah, I think me and
I mean, I'm pretty sure this is probably the first year we haven't had a lottery pick in a long time.
Yeah, but that's cute. That I really do think that that's so adorable. Like Gonzaga's had we've had 9 draft picks in the last 19 years, and you're like, okay.
We have 48.
Okay, speaking of that, because it's kind of around the same lines that you guys are talking about, we have some questions from fans. And if you don't mind answering, Richard,
I'm joking.
if you don't mind answering, Tony Talks wants to know, Jalen, why you picked Gonzaga.
Gonzaga was an easy pick for me, honestly. I knew I was going to Gonzaga my junior year, and I wanted to commit. Crazy story. Here, we're gonna fully dive into this. You're gonna hear about it. So, sophomore year going into junior year, I am ready to commit to Minnesota. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do both sports. I play with PJ. The basketball, I'll do it. I need a little more from them. I just need a little more from the basketball side. They didn't.
What do you mean?
Never came around really.
What do you mean? Like they need more attention? You need more attention?
No. I didn't care about that. I was gonna change it, but they didn't come to recruit. They didn't come to many games. They weren't at practice. And when you were that close, and especially I never really had too much interaction with Pitino. I don't know, he's cool. The times we did talk, he's good people, but I wish if he would have just came a little more, showed interest and, he actually wanted me to be there, then I think it would have been easy. And I honestly would have chopped it up and committed probably my late junior year to Gonzaga. I mean, to Minnesota.
Like about ASU.
Wow.
I went to a practice and they were like, oh, this is close practice. And we we're like, oh, no, we talked to assistant coach and he said, come to a practice. And they were like, oh, what's your name? And then there was 2 other kids from Arizona that were way worse than me at the time. And I was bad at the time. They're like, yeah, we just don't have room for you right now. And so me and my dad were like, this is some bullshit. So then then Coach O and them saw me at an AAU tournament and Coach Olsen's sitting in my practice himself. So I said, shit, if Coach O is going to come to my practice, that's when I started taking my unofficial visits. And then this guy took me out and then I committed my junior year. But
so Pitino just didn't get, now mind you, Pitino's also Pitino.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know.
So
and that's why there was a little bit I understand, but I mean, because Ben came around a lot. Ben came around a lot, and I really like Ben. I think he deserves that job 100%. He's already done a good job, in getting. I think the big thing they kept going, I think for the big names in the state, they would have started with some of the guys who were really good, just didn't have, a ton of offers. I think that definitely would have helped.
That's how Channing got to Arizona.
Program.
Continue, Jalen.
Oh, I think that definitely would have helped, and that's what Ben's doing now. So I mean, but Ben came around a lot. It's just when it's not the head coach, and I didn't have barely any interaction with the head coach. It made it a little hard. But the football, man, I was ready to play for PJ right then and there. He is the best. I love PJ.
You were going to play both football and basketball
at Minnesota. Yes.
Oh my God.
Well, there's guys that have done it. I know. So Todd Heap, we talk about Suggs, but Todd Heap, who was a tight end for the Baltimore Ravens, all pro, played basketball at Arizona. That was my power forward on my AAU team. Yeah. But you have guys like Tony Gonzalez. You have guys that have done both. It's depending on the position. What?
Antonio Gates did both. He was a beast in college.
Yeah. Peppers.
So there is not that. It's not far. I want to go back though to you were ready to commit to Minnesota. You were there. How much did your parents like you said that you had that very difficult decision with your dad and you talked through it, and I respect that you tell me about the emotion of that, because that's a real decision, man. Football, there's not you're playing in front of more people. It's a bigger thing. The rush. I understand. You're literally saying I'm giving up every piece of adrenaline I get from this moment. Like, what was that conversation like with your parents? Were they a part of that recruiting process? I know you said that decision, but you're like, Dad, I want to go here. I want to do this or blah, blah, blah. And then you were like, okay, if it's not Minnesota, how did you get from Minnesota to Gonzaga?
So, like I said, again, it was going into my junior year. And I remember we were driving. We just came home from practice, went out a little bucket. And, you know, we pull up and, you know, I told him, like, you know, I said I was getting a little nervous about it because, you know, I really wanted it to happen. You know, and it was heavy on my mind, especially like the past like couple of weeks. You know, I've been thinking about it. So I told him, I was like, Dad, this is what I want to do, and this is really what I'm feeling. Like, you know, like, what do you think about it? You know, how do you think we should go about it? You know, because I mean, I wasn't just gonna commit. There were still question marks there and things like that. So, but we did the same thing pretty much like we did with football. You know, broke it down. You know, kind of what it would look like. He said, "All right, well, I'm gonna go. You know, have some conversations. You know, try and speak with the coach, speak with some people there. You know, and see what they're thinking." And it was. It just never really ended up working out, especially the basketball side. The football side was all good. I think that was super solid. The basketball side was always just, there were some question marks, you know, about changing the system, you know, because, you know, it was really slow pace, really methodical, you know, and changing how to get up and down and a lot of more pick and rolls. So I think that had a big influence in it. And then we were watching the Gonzaga game, and my dad and Brian, best friends, they both run grassroots together. And they're like, damn, why hasn't Gonzaga offered yet? And so we hit them up first. And because we're interested in Gonzaga. We love how they play. You know, Nigel was there. I met Nigel when I was super young. We were at the Corn Palace, and I was up in the auxiliary gym shooting. You know, it was by myself while everybody else was playing games. And Finley Prep came in to like warm up and get ready for their game. So it's Mike Cavango, Garrett Johnson, Amir Garrett, Nick Johnson, Nigel. And so I'm in there playing like pig and stuff with those guys and messing around. They brought me down, and, you know, right before they went on the court, they did their little chant. They kept me in the middle. So that was a super cool experience. But, you know, he was going there. And then Gonzaga came, you know, we had a conversation. They offered, you know, and I took my first visit October of my junior year. And I was like, yeah, that's it for me. I know I want to go to Gonzaga.
So once it was Gonzaga, there was no football. There was no football.
Yeah, that was actually a huge part of it. It was actually a really big part of it. You know, coming down to it, I think I made my decision in January, like November, December, especially when I was like, I want to play football. Like Gonzaga didn't have it, and that was a big key because I definitely would have been in the facility, not on the basketball court, not showing up for practices or workouts, and then turned to a football player. So it was a big part of it.
Wow.
Where else were you getting recruited for football?
I like the fashion look game.
Ohio State. Yeah, say it.
Ohio State.
You went to Toledo.
Channing, I am a Buckeye through and through. Stop it.
You're a torpedo.
I am born and raised in Ohio.
No, you're from Van Wert, which is close to Indiana.
I love Toledo. Toledo is everything to me. It is half the reason I am the person I am, but I wanted to play at Ohio State. I just wasn't good enough. So
did you think about transferring? Were you good enough after like your freshman or sophomore year?
Me?
You could have transferred. Yes.
No.
Really? Is Ohio
but I
State
still
that
root
good?
for the Buckeyes. So anyways, I saw that you were recruited by them too. And I was like, oh.
That was,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so my thing is this. I'm big, you know, my kids just did Little League. It was the shittiest 2 hours of being in the sun that I could ever experience. And I was out there like I know any fucking thing about baseball. But I think that there's things to be learned from playing every sport, the camaraderie, the lingo, the this. And don't say both. I don't want to fucking hear it. Do you think playing football made you a better basketball player, or being a basketball player made you a better football player? And I have an opinion. Go ahead.
I think playing football made me a better basketball player.
Okay. Why?
Especially, you look at the positions and they kind of directly carry over onto the basketball
the
court.
Point guard, yeah.
In a quarterback, you have to know where guys are going to be, and you have to put the ball there and kind of like force them like, nah, you're going to be here. Passes like they cover ground a lot quicker, you know, and the windows close really fast. So, I mean, to see those, you know, pass it before they're open and to an open spot, I got a lot of that from, you know, being a quarterback. And then I think the defense, you know, kind of speaks for itself, you know, being a safety and reading eyes, reading hips.
I think the one thing I was going to say, because Channing was a $190, is the lifting. Like, basketball players might be training a little bit more, but you were lifting like a football player. And
that was
when you went out
part.
to basketball, it was like fucking contact. Let's go. Body to body, what you want.
Basketball in high school, I didn't really lift like that. Like, I mean, I lived in conditioning class. You know, I did about twice a week during the season. But, you know, really just maintaining my body. Football, we lift about 4 times a week. And I did that for about 4 months straight. So, I mean, a lot of it just kind of carried over to the basketball season to where I could just maintain it, you know, and just make sure my body's feeling good. So, yeah, I definitely feel that part for sure.
That was my thought.
Okay, we have a couple more questions. Carson Merck wants to know who your Gonzaga basketball Mount Rushmore would be.
They don't even have a Mount Rushmore.
My gosh, here we go. Who's on Arizona?
What?
Are you two on Arizona?
Richard, no.
Who's on it and who is not?
Oh, no. Not the state of Arizona, the University of Arizona. Neither Channing and I are on the Mount.
I would beg to disagree.
You're out of your fucking mind. You were like the 9th best center of your era from fucking Arizona.
What?
Wait, Channing, are you on it?
What?
No, you're on the Mount Rushmore of Arizona. You're on the.
I can't read it. I cannot read
sit
you.
here and disgrace our university and say that you're on the Mount Rushmore.
Centers. If you were to have a top 5, name a better center than me in college.
Brian Williams.
No, he was good, but no.
Way to go,
I was 3rd in blocks for the Pac-12. That's like Kareem,
The Pac-12
Abdul-Rahim, and me.
Pac-12 since Lou
Pac-10.
Alcindor.
Pac-10.
Pac-10, Pac-12, whatever. Not since Lou
Richard,
Alcindor, and it was the.
I'm not
fucking
tooting my horn.
Pac-8.
Brian Williams was great.
Like, they don't produce great centers.
No. Okay.
Okay. Do you
So
have
who's on the Mount Rushmore? Who's on the Mount Rushmore? Wait a second.
Yeah.
We're going to Gonzaga.
I want to hear Channing's Mount Rushmore of Arizona. Give us the Mount Rushmore.
So I'm just going to go 2 guards, 2 forwards, and a center.
No. That's not how fucking Rushmore works. If you're not familiar with
four Mount Rushmores, and I don't want any explanations. Just give me the names.
the 4 names.
I have to go Sean Elliott, Mike Bibby, God, it's such a long list. I mean, I might have to also say like Miles Simon, and then
Channing Frye.
I'm missing someone. Well, I thought we were going by position.
Channing Frye is not a part of this equation.
I thought we were saying the top 5. Then that's fine. 4, I'm not on that. 4, I'm not on that.
Number 5.
So you know that Andre Iguodala is like a future Hall of Famer, right?
I do know that, and that's what I was saying. But he only went 2 years.
Wait, we're discrediting.
Okay, so Richard, then who is your 4?
My 4. Oh, that's tough. I'm gonna say Sean Elliott.
Right.
Then I'm gonna say Mike Bibby.
Okay. And both those guys are from Arizona too.
If we're talking about Mount Rushmore at Arizona or like their basketball overall.
At Arizona.
At Arizona.
At Arizona.
At Arizona.
At Arizona, then it'll be Mike Bibby. It'll be Steve Kerr. It'll be Sean Elliott. And then my last one is probably between like Damon and Miles. And I'm gonna say Damon, even though he didn't get the national championship. I'll put Damon just a smidge over Miles. My 5th person would be Miles, if we're talking about, because he won the national championship, national player, all that stuff. But Damon Stoudemire was that dude. Steve Kerr and Sean Elliott literally took the program from 4 wins to like national prominence. So I'm going to give them more points for that. Yeah.
All right. Did that answer your question, Jalen? Who is your Mount Rushmore for Gonzaga?
I'm gonna go.
Do they have enough people?
And don't say Kelly Olynyk either.
Don't do that. Do not do that. I'm
gonna
go Adam Morrison.
Trash. Who?
Pangos.
Okay. I don't know who that is.
It's okay.
Stockton.
Okay. There you go. I got one.
Oh.
You.
Don't say Corey Violet either. Dan Dickow.
I fucking choked out. I got kicked out of the summer league game for choking out Dan Dickow. Sorry, Dan.
Nice dude too.
You seem like a nice. Nice dude.
Hang on, Jalen. Did you pick your fourth?
I don't know my fourth, to be honest.
You gotta be a fourth. You big.
That's what I said. You.
You can be on your own Mount Rushmore as Channing established at the beginning.
But see that's the thing. Like I only did 8 months. That's like what you said with like Iguodala. I did 8 months.
Yeah, but you also took your team to a finals.
Yeah, say that again, Channing. What did he accomplish?
You took your team to the finals.
Yeah.
You're okay.
I'll put myself at the fourth. Thanks to the peer pressure of Channing and Rich.
I got you, man. Yeah, very few of us know what it's like to play in the Final Four.
Oh,
Rich, we got it.
You don't know what it's like to win a chip without me, Richard.
All right, last one for you. And
I proved you
Channing
the
will
trade.
appreciate this. Bear Down Skylar wants to know, how will Tommy Lloyd do at Arizona?
Oh,
Let's ask Jalen.
What?
He's gonna do a great job. He's the best. Tommy's the best. Good.
Well, okay.
Great recruiter. Great basketball mind. Great basketball mind. He's gonna do good.
Don't fuck with us, dog. Don't fuck with us, Jay.
Keep it 100.
Look, there's a real, actual Arizona basketball mafia. Like, I know, like, you guys are getting there, but there's like a real mafia. Like, Lloyd showed up, and everybody was looking at him like this, like he was out there, like he showed up to take out our 16-year-old daughter. Like, that's what it looked like. That's what it looked like.
Trust. He's gonna do really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
We went back for Coach O's memorial, and I was looking around, and I was like, "There's 7 head coaches, right? Like literally almost $1 billion worth of NBA money. And we were missing Gilbert, we were missing Sean Elliott, we were missing. But like to see that old school crew of guys get together, that had to be. And we watched one of Tommy's practice. And I was like, "Woo, boy, that's a lot of pressure." Right? 1 or 2 of us coming back is different than 20 years of U of A guys from like Steve Kerr and Judd Bushler to like, Andre Iguodala all coming together to be a part of that family. But hey, if you say he's good with me, he's good with you. I hope he does good at Arizona.
Oh yeah.
Jalen, this has been so much fun. Thank you for
so much fun, Jalen.
Last question for you. Tell us something that we need to know about you that we probably wouldn't know.
I think it's starting to get out there now, but I'm fluent in Spanish.
You could be down there with the puppies.
Lean into that in Florida. Just FYI, lean into that.
I'm working my way. My ultimate goal is a telenovela. If I make that.
Listen, hey, everybody loves telenovela.
Yo, that's
Telemundo used to hit different after 11.
Yo, Telemundo used to hit different. You used to be watching the news channel on Telemundo at night.
Why are you watching news so much? Hey, mind your business. Give me a minute.
Oh my God.
No, that's awesome, man. Don't ever lose that, man. Keep using it. That'll make you a lot of money. Basketball.
A lot of money.
Yeah, we want to thank our friends over at Camus, the Wagner family, for supplying us with the wine that we drink all the time on the podcast. And we're going to send Jalen you a couple bottles for your family because you are yet of age to drink. So with that said, good luck with everything. And thank you again.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to see you in person again, man. You're awesome.
God.
So fun.
Jalen. Hey, fuck you, bye.
Hey, Kenny, fuck you, bye. Hey, Kenny, fuck you,